A large part of having a happy life is having a life that you are comfortable with. You are comfortable with, not other people. So what this takes is getting to know yourself. So this goes into a lot of what I'm always teaching here about undigging the shadow of learning and knowing thyself. Because one of the things you're going to discover when you get through the layers of knowing thyself is yourself. And when you do that, you're naturally going to weed out the things that you don't like about yourself. Not about what other people say, not about society, but about what you say about yourself, what you say. Because what you think and what you know as your truth is what really matters. Because when you get to that place, you can now take criticism, and you can take criticism from a place of sovereign discernment. Because let's say somebody calls you ugly, but you know in your deepest of souls that you are beautiful. You know what your face looks like. You know your truest depths. You know that you are beautiful. It doesn't matter what anyone else says, because you have that deep inner gnosis of yourself. So nobody can tell you one thing or another about yourself. And this goes into your intellect. This goes into everything about yourself that you want to hold as a treasure. Everybody has different things that make them them. Some people really love their athletic ability. Some people, that's really important to them. Some people, it's their mind and they want to be smart. Some people, it's their soul and they want to be nice and beautiful as a person, as a being. But that is all going to have to be cultivated and lived from a sovereign discerning place, because it has to be authentic. First and foremost, authentic for you, authentic for what your truth is, authentic for what your lived experience is that you want for yourself. What is your lived experience that you want? You have to dig these out. You have to learn thyself, which is what I'm always talking about. But when you hit into a place of a deeper knowing of yourself, you now have grabbed greater strength into your being, because you can trust yourself. You know yourself. If let's say you do make a mistake and you make yourself look in some way dumb, but you know you're a smart person, then you can forgive your mistake and let it go. You don't need to fall into a downward spiral of going, oh God, I embarrassed myself. When you get to the deeper layers of knowing yourself, there is no more being scared of embarrassing yourself. Does that mean you won't embarrass yourself? No, you absolutely will. We embarrass ourselves all the time. That's just what life is. The human is an awkward weirdo. There's probably not one single person on this world that is naturally perfect, that is naturally, effortlessly ever making any mistakes. That doesn't happen. We, the human, are people that mess up, and that's okay. And that's why we want to get to know ourselves at a deeper layer, because when we know ourselves at that fundamental soul layered self, that is when we can be the person that we want to be. So know that your journey of getting to know thyself has a wonderful end goal, and that is to just be in full acceptance of yourself. And then you'll find you end up being the same person you always were at your core, but at your deepest core. And you get to be that person and not be embarrassed by that person on a permanent level, and not be always unsure of yourself. You get to say your truth, say and be who you are, which in this world, they have brainwashed us to not be ourselves. They have brainwashed us to always be scared of judgment and of getting blamed for things, and this is why no one wants to take accountability. It's all a vicious circle that keeps us small. But when you learn to love thyself, to know thyself, and to truly be who you are, when you stand firm and know who you are, that's when nothing can touch you. That's when nothing, it doesn't mean you won't be rocked sometimes, but you'll have a firm footing of who you are, of what you are, of what you stand for as a person, because we all stand for something. We are all that hero that has their hero type, you know? That's just what we are. That's what the human is. It's just our journey. We're all on a hero's journey where we start as the fool and we go through the tarot deck and we come out as the hero. At the end, we come out as the whole world. And it's beautiful. And let your journey be unique for you. Don't let anybody tell you what you should or shouldn't say or what you should and shouldn't be. Always feel into that inner soul place, that inner soul spark, okay? Because that's where you're going to get your intuitive hits of what is actually for you, of what you actually do think. Because there's so many layers of brainwashing that need to be pulled back, of ancestral trauma that need to come undone for you to be your full self. But when you are your full self, when you get to those places, know that like you can be so happy, and you become a fortress of you, where nobody can hurt you anymore besides you yourself. And you'll realize you are the only one that was ever letting yourself be hurt to begin with, because you are that powerful. You hold that much power to protect yourself. So talk to you later. Transcending Ascension.